What's up, guys? So I'm going to be doing a full day of eating video today, but before we get into the video, I want to let you know that I have t-shirts available on Spreadshirt right now for sale. So I have t-shirts, tanks for women and men running $19. It's a really cool BPN design that Kenny Gonzales did. So it's like a BPN logo with an American flag integrated in a cross barbell. So if you want to check that out and pick one up and support me, I really appreciate it. But other than that, we'll get into the video, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So I just pulled up to the gym, about to go in and hit a chest and back workout. But this morning, I had a lot of time to make breakfast because I have a 4-day weekend since it's Easter weekend. So I have off Friday, I have off Monday. And I decided to take a hack at the sandwich because Michael Corey did this a while ago, I guess a few weeks back, and everyone wanted my take on it. So mine's a little different. What I did is I used banana pancakes in the sandwich. So I used 2.5 servings of just a complete pancake mix, added an egg, a little bit of cinnamon, and then just made pancakes like normal. Chopped up some bananas and then threw them on there while they cooked so they kind of just caramelize. So 2 pancakes for the top and bottom of the sandwich. And then inside the sandwich, I used 1 cup of egg whites, 1/4 cup or 1 serving of a 4 Mexican cheese. And then I threw in 3 slices of Canadian bacon. And I'll throw the macros on the screen, but it turned out really well and really filling, actually. And then I just topped it with some Walden Farms maple syrup. And I think the best part about it was that it was like the perfect combination of sweet and salty, because you got the sweetness of the syrup and the banana baked into the pancakes, and then the saltiness of the Canadian bacon. I'm not a huge fan of regular bacon or turkey bacon. I just don't think the macros are worth it. I've just never been a huge fan. Even like at Ranger School, when we had the option of like bacon and sausage, everyone was taking bacon, and I was taking the sausage option. So that was meal number 1. I had the sandwich. Turned out really, really well going in to hit this workout. I'll show you some clips of a workout a few days ago, today's workout, and then we'll get in the rest of today's meals.
Don't stop, keep it going. So fly, no luggage, baby, carry on. Carry on, gon' carry on. Drop it down and take it to the moon.
Alright guys, so this is my first workout back after a week of not doing any pressing movements just because of my shoulder pain. And today the focus was just going in light, working on controlling the movements and the weight, and just seeing how my arm felt. And my shoulder felt really good, actually. I worked with lighter weights, but still working with the same amount of volume pretty much. And after doing some self-diagnosis and judging my symptoms, doing some research online, I think it's just weightlifter shoulder, which is pretty common. It's just pretty much overuse. So, looking back over this past year, it's been a pretty physically demanding year. I went through Ranger School. I was there for 4 months. Getting out of there, I was getting back into shape, and I started doing powerlifting and still working on bodybuilding. So my frequency and my volume was still really high. So I think, just giving myself a little time to recover, really focusing on the movements themselves, maybe stepping back from powerlifting a little bit and just working on some hypertrophy stuff might help less irritation on that shoulder. So these clips you're seeing right now are of today's workout, and then I'm about to show you Wednesday's leg workout, which was a 3-rep scheme. But getting into my diet progress, so far I've been dieting for almost 2 weeks. It's been about 11 days, and I've lost 3 pounds. Now, a lot of this is contributed to the work we're doing at PT, I believe, because we're doing a lot of cardio. We're probably running maybe 10 to 12 miles a week, but we're doing a lot of sprints, a lot of track workouts. And we'll see after this weekend, I have about 4 days of I'm not going to do any cardio, and we'll see how that has affected my weight loss, if my weight loss stalls at all. But I don't want to drop carbs too low, and I don't want to have a very aggressive cut. This is just to get a little lean, but I'm still going through a lot, physically wise, from PT every morning to going to the gym in the night. So I need the calories, I need the food to recover properly. So, I'm just trying to lean out a little bit to give you guys some insight on dieting. So I know I've told you guys before that a lot of people in my gym compete in bodybuilding, they compete in powerlifting, and a lot of them, it's their first show they're doing right now, just because at this time of the year, a lot of people are prepping for shows that are in June, July, and maybe getting ready even for ones in October, pretty far out. But I've been talking to a lot of people because I'm curious what other coaches do. Some coaches do meal plans still, some do macros, and you always hear these horror stories about these awful coaches, and I'm finally seeing it firsthand. I've been talking to people, and there's a few people whose macros and meal plans are just ridiculous. There was this one guy who, his off season, he was maintaining maybe a lean bulk at 700 grams of carbs a day. And I saw him in his off season, and he wasn't heavy. He was still fairly lean. His coach from 18 weeks out dropped him from 700 grams of carbs to 150 grams of carbs. And he's supposed to hold those macros for 18 weeks out up until peak week. And I was thinking, how crazy is that? Like, it's just awful, some of the coaching. But then there's really good coaches online, so you just gotta be aware, I guess. All right, guys, so meal 2 post-workout is gonna be my infamous cinnamon swirl baked French toast. And if you're a new subscriber, you haven't seen this yet, you must try this. And if you're an old subscriber and you've seen this before and you've tried it, and if you haven't used the Pepperidge Farm swirl bread, man, you're missing out. You haven't done justice to the recipe. You need to use this bread. So 6 slices of that, you just dice it up, cut it 3 one way, 3 the other. Add 1 egg, half a cup of almond milk, and then I'm gonna dice up, this is probably a medium-sized apple. I'm gonna weigh it out, but I'm assuming it's gonna weigh probably 200 grams. Dice that up, throw it in there with some apple pie spice and some cinnamon, maybe a little bit of Splenda, and then I just bake it in like a Pyrex dish at 350 for anywhere from 30 to 35 minutes. It takes a while for the stuff to bake. And on the side, I'm gonna have 8 ounces of chicken breast with some barbecue sauce. So I'll make this up and we'll see what it looks like.
She's got a dream, but no one's a call. And she chases stardom like it's just nothing at all.
So if there were like 2 meals that I could eat for the rest of my life, I think one would be overnight oats, and the other one would be baked French toast. Really, like I like any sort of baked apple kind of stuff. Like, I'm not a huge apple fan. It's not my favorite fruit, but if you bake it with some cinnamon, some Splenda, something sweet, really good. And of course, topped with Walden Farms maple syrup. What I'm going to do is protein fluff. And I tried this in a video before and it just didn't work out right because I didn't have this, the magic xanthan gum. So I'm going to use 1 serving of this, 0 fat, 7 grams of carbs. All of it is fiber and 0 protein. So you can use this in like cream, sauces, dressings. It's really just a thickening agent. And it's just all fiber. So I'm going to use 1 serving of that, 2 scoops of vanilla elite whey diamondized protein, 1 serving or 1 cup of frozen blueberries, and then I'm going to add a little bit of almond milk at a time just until it gets a little thicker. Mix all that up in a hand blender. We'll see how it turns out. It's supposed to be very thick, and I guess you're supposed to do it for like 10 to 15 minutes to get it just super, super volumey. All right, and then on the side, 2.5 servings of Apple Jacks just to fill in some carbs. Today, since I'm not working out for PT, like doing cardio and stuff, I'm going to drop 25 grams of carbs for the weekend just because usually during the week I'm doing some sort of running, and that's how I've had this consistent weight loss. So carbs decrease 25 grams Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, back to work Tuesday, and then we'll see how this turns out. So this xanthan gum is actually really hard to work with because it gets so thick. Like, it does a really, really good job at a thickening agent, but it works really good with this recipe. Tastes like a blueberry, like creamy ice cream. So you know what else you could do with this stuff is throw it in protein shakes. So just like protein, almond milk, xanthan gum. You got fiber, very little carbs if you're dieting, and a very thick protein shake. It was so thick that when I was blending it for like, I didn't even do it for 10 minutes, maybe 6 minutes, that all this gunk, this fluff, rode up the blender because it got that thick. But this stuff is really good. It's really dense and a lot of volume, so try it out. All right, so to finish off tonight's macros, I still want to get some veggies in, so I'm going to do a chicken Caesar salad. So it's just a head of romaine lettuce, literally a whole head of romaine lettuce cut up, some cherry tomatoes, some Parmesan cheese, 6 ounces of chicken, and then some of that Bold House Caesar Parmesan dressing, which is really, really good. And then on the side, I'm going to have some oatmeal just to fill in some more carbs. So it's 1 cup of oats, 1 tablespoon of peanut butter, 1 tablespoon of chocolate chips, a little bit of Splenda, and a little bit of Walden Farms maple syrup, some Libby's pumpkin, a 1/4 cup of that, and then some cinnamon and pumpkin spice. There's a lot in it, but a lot of it don't have any calories. So that wraps up the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one. A lot of people were asking for a full day of eating. I'll get a bunch of other videos out this weekend. And remember, if you want to pick up a shirt, description will be in the box below. Thanks, guys.